Hey guys, this is Valen with Valen Games, here to give you a brief orientation into the Hero Arena. So as I mentioned in my new player orientation video, this is going to be one of those ones where I give you an introduction and basic strategy for one of the more specific elements of the game. The Hero Arena is the player versus player element of Game of Thrones Beyond the Wall. And once you are past level 20, you are going to be able to access this. I think there's roughly about 1,000 players in each realm, at least that show up on the leaderboard last time I checked, and I expect that to continue to grow. By and large, you can climb the ranks pretty quickly here, so long as you're willing to put in the time and use up your little tickets there. You do get 5 free ones a day, but you can get a whole bunch more from accomplishing certain achievements in the game. In my realm, so far, it hasn't gotten particularly competitive until you get closer to level 50. As you can see, I'm currently sitting at number 45 there, 47 rather. I have been rather lazy about this one today, but as I put more time on it, I'll probably climb back up closer to the 30s. Anyhow, let's get into it. First thing you want to pay attention to is the characters they list here. Those +4 or +10s are referring to the extra points you can get by using those characters. If you hit challenge, you're now committed to play it out or lose your ticket. As you can see, it's going to give you 3 options to choose from. The darker the color, the harder the player to face, at least in theory, but that's not always the case. You really want to be looking at the hero level and stars, as well as the level and team composition that you see in there for the soldiers. Right now, the hero level here at the top is definitely higher than mine by a couple of levels, but looking at the soldiers, I think it's doable. So we're going to give it a try. It's also worth noting that the more games you win in a row, you're going to get some bonus points. That was that win streak percentage that you saw at the top there that I forgot to mention. Now, I'm using Dany right now simply because it's part of the challenge that I can use to unlock more power-ups for her. The more you use her in the arena, the more of those you're going to unlock during her event that's going on right now. So that's why you're going to see a lot of her in there. I do keep her towards the back, as you can see, since she does not do well in close quarters combat and is mainly used for her special ability. I'm going to keep my Great Swordsman up front, since if I do not, it's going to be hard to get him to back into the battle later due to his lack of maneuverability. But everybody else I'm going to keep towards the rear there and out of the danger zone. You can see it's a pretty basic battlefield. It always looks the same, no obstacles, and everybody starts on the opposite end, so it's pretty straightforward. I always want to avoid engaging with the enemy in the first turn if I can, unless, of course, I'm using that Great Swordsman, in which case I leave him within striking distance so that I can easier use him down the road. The reason for this is because in Arena, you're usually going to go up against a relatively evenly matched team or a lower power team. In either case, having your first engagement be heavy on the special abilities, which you can't access till turn 2, is going to do a huge amount to knock out the enemy before you take any serious damage. And there you have it. So now I'm going to use Dany's first so that I can see who I can knock out, since her ability is extremely powerful. And sure enough, I just took out everybody on the team except the hero. So I'm going to start working to get my guys within striking distance. However, I do want to separate them out as much as possible because she has the same ability as I do, and it's got a very wide area of effect. So if my people are too close together, they'll all get wiped out. And since she's a higher level than mine, if I let that happen, I'm in serious trouble. And so now it should just be a matter of me closing the distance on her and killing her before that ability regenerates. So I'm going to close as fast as I possibly can and leave her as little maneuverability room as possible. and that's the game. So as you can see, it's a pretty basic strategy, and it does apply to, I'd say, roughly 90% of the arena matches going on right now. And that same strategy works pretty well against a bowman when that's the hero, though of course you don't need to spread out your team so much. The only exception is going to be when you're facing a melee hero with a lot of highly maneuverable units up at front, like fighters and horsemen. That's a case where you do want to rush them quickly so that they can't outflank you. But other than that, the same basic strategy pretty much works every time in Arena, at least with how they currently have it designed. Hope this helps you start to climb those leaderboards. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and that's it for me. Have a good one, guys.